mentioned atheist. Are you an open atheist? I was just at the Reason rally in D.C. last weekend, and it was all atheists getting together to
at
talk
a Raisin rally.
The Reason rally.
Oh,
the Raisin rally.
Okay. It didn't make sense to me. Like, why do they love dried grapes so much?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry,
there's probably a metaphor
sure you
there.
Said raisin.
No, raisin and reason. I'm sure there's some metaphor.
Yeah, I think you said raisin.
I might have said raisin.
Anyway.
I've had a very difficult week.
Anyway, different rally. So
yeah, and there's a lot of atheists there, and they want to promote atheism. Do you think atheism should be promoted, or is it just your sort of private view of things?
It's not even necessarily a private view of things for me. I mean, I don't. It's not like, ugh. Those blowhards that, like, my faith is very personal.
Right. Yet they're always talking about it.
Good, because no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's personal, because I'll never ask you a question about it or anything else.
Right.
Douche. I hate that person. I don't know why the faith is personal. I have those people. My wife's my best friend. The people that call their house their home, and their kid their children. Like, when you come into my home in front of my children, I hate that. All right. Now, I'm an atheist just because I never was introduced to any form of religion growing up or at any time in my life. So I figure you need to either grow up, this guy was a Mormon growing up, you get it, you grow up in this religion. And then if you back that out of the equation, then you need some sort of catastrophic event, right?
Right.
So I was blacked out drunk. I drove through that retirement home. I took 84 souls. And now I gotta somehow get right again with the universe, so I will find Jesus Christ, and then I'll apologize, and then He'll forgive me, and then I'll get to get on with my life.
Right. So you think the average person, that if they hadn't been introduced to religion, you really have no reason to come to it, right? Like, there's no real reason, short of some catastrophic thing or some health thing or something like that, where then you'd need something else.
I feel like not growing up around it, not having a catastrophic event, not even sort of hitting rock bottom emotionally, like, hey, I'm rudderless. I don't know where to go with myself. Like, I don't know what what am I doing on this planet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And or the rarefied air of somebody, like your Muhammad Ali in the Nation of Islam goes, hey, man, you want a cool gig? Here's a bow tie.
Yeah.
Come on down. Yeah, or, maybe you're Tom Cruise and somebody comes, there are religions that the rarefied air of, that might recruit the celebrity, which I'm open to.
So if the right people came, you're not above having the Mormons come in and say, we'll sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, and then, by the way, I'll get into a conversation with them just like, a blue chip recruit would. I'd be like, well, that's great. A couple of Hindu guys dropped off an Escalade, kind of had a bow on it.
Yeah.
It said it was all taken care of, so, it's a nice ride. But if you can do better with like a Porsche Cayenne or something like that, I'm all ears.
Yeah.
I
those days are done though. In basketball, in like NCAA. Those days,
but
does that
let's
happen
start
anymore?
doing it with religion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Me talking about the Hindu guy.
Yeah.
Varnoosh or Baba Ganoush. I don't know. That's the point. I'd have to be coached up. The point is.
Yeah.
Once I declare major, you know what I mean? Once I put the cap on that has the religion on, and I say I'm taking my talents over to Hinduism.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Ooh, a signing bonus?
A signing bonus.
That's pretty good.
We pull their ceremonial garb over my three-piece suit. It's a photo op. My mom's crying. My dad's not there, of course.
Yeah.
I've never met the man.
No.
But the point is we do that. I get coached up, and then I start, wearing the hat, kind of working it in. And I think it'd be worth the SUV and whatever kind of wham, what I call walking around money, that religion might provide.
Right. So you're not above selling out, which is and you're upfront about it. It's a kind of beautiful thing.
Well, again, I'm an atheist, so I can go any direction I want and sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't really answer anybody unless the price is right.
So one of the things you do on your podcast is you talk to people regardless of whether you agree with them or disagree with them. That's pretty much what we talked about.
It's irregardless, but
it's irregardless? Isn't that?
I'm pretty sure.
Are we going to disagree? Isn't irregardless the made-up word?
It's
It's regardless.
irregardless.
It's irregardless?
I just say that to scare people. It always makes me do that.
I'm pretty sure that's a made-up word. But the point is, irregardless of that fact.
Irregardless of that, yeah.
But you like...
Okay, hold on. I've just come around and done a complete 360 on this irregardless.
It's regardless.
Yeah, and it's 180. I like
you did
people
a
say I've done a
360
360 on it. You know, I used to be against gay marriage, and then I did a whole 360 on it.
And now
I'm for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're back to, yeah.
people are idiots. Is that the main thing? Because that's pretty much. I walk around all day and I watch the news and I listen to people, and I think 90%. I look on Twitter. 90% of people are just morons. Is that fair to say?
Well, 90% of people don't have clearly thought out positions.
Yeah.
Like, they're just sitting there going, you know, I don't know how many chicks I've spoken to, like, I don't like hunting and I don't like hunters. And you're like, well, these guys go out and they, shoot some deer and then they eat it, you know? What's wrong with that? I don't think it's right. And you go, wait a minute, you eat beef, don't you?
Right.
Yeah. You eat steak, right? We ate In-N-Out 2 days ago. Yeah. Well, so what this guy, Chris Pratt goes out and shoots a deer, and then he makes deer jerky out of it, and then he gives it to his friends, and then actually some people shoot the deer and they give the meat to a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
I know. I just don't. I don't like it. I disagree with it. It's like, what are you disagreeing with? You're eating a hamburger. You're eating jerky right now, and they're like, you just snapped into a Slim Jim while we were talking about this, and they're like, I know. I don't. And it's like, well, how about you either think or shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What are we talking about? You know, and you go, I don't agree with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning and wants to have a nuclear bomb dropped on them. I don't. And then they start doing this stupid math. It's like, would you like it if you woke up and someone dropped a bomb on your head? And you go, okay, well, what we're going to do? We're going to invade Japan. Like, we were going to kill 500,000 to 1 million people. We were going to kill a bunch of them and women and children, and it would have been a slaughter fest. Or we can drop a bomb and take those numbers and decrease them significantly. Yeah, I disagree. I don't think you should drop nuclear bombs. Okay, well, now give me your plan.
Right.
Give me your plan. And the answer is always like, I don't
believe in war.
Yeah, but my plan is like, just don't have the war at all. It's like, yeah, I know, but they bombed Pearl Harbor, so what do you want us to do? Well, I disagree. I wouldn't eat meat. I mean, I enjoy meat. Do you have any pork on you?
Yeah.
I don't like hunters.
Yeah.
And it's like, people just talk.
So it's really that people people don't really think through their life
when
ethos,
that gorilla
that's a perfect example.
Left its cave that morning, it wasn't planning on being shot.
Yeah.
No. How would you like it if you just walked out with your slippers and bathrobe to get a newspaper and someone just put a bullet in your head? I don't think you'd like that. Would you like that?
I would not.
Would you deserve that? That gorilla didn't deserve to get shot. No gorilla should be left behind.
I see what you're doing there.
And then you go, well, what are we going to do? They're just holding a 3-year-old. Well, what are you going to do? I'm not a zoo person, Ollie. I'm not a trained zoo person.
Yeah.
But no, anything but shoot the thing. It doesn't, maybe you shoot it in the thigh. Do the gorillas have thighs, right? I'm not a zoo person.
I think so.
I'll shoot it. All right, well, if that makes it mad and it starts throwing the kid around like a rag doll. Anything but shoot. You don't kill a gorilla.
Yeah.
You don't kill it.
Didn't that story kind of like get to how stupid everything is? Because I saw all these people immediately. You have to tranquilize it. You have to tranquilize it.
Yeah.
And then experts came on, and experts said, well, the gorilla is so big, there would have, and the time between where it could have just grabbed the kid and killed it like that, you could not have tranquilized it. Nobody was saying we were for shooting it. They weren't thrilled to shoot it, right? You make the point. That gorilla this is a good animal that nobody wanted to kill.
Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it had done some shit.
Maybe
I guess.
some domestic abuse in the past.
Yeah, so you
Gotta
think it
ask the old lady.
possibly deserved?
Well, are all gorillas the best? You know what I mean?
Oh, now you're making the all argument.
Maybe this one wasn't. Maybe this one, was a C- student who'd smacked this old lady around a little bit. We don't know.
What about the mother? Because people were freaking out on the mother. How could you lose your kid in a gorilla thing? Your son is right here. How old?
Yeah.
He's in the studio with us right now.
He turned 10 yesterday.
He turned 10. I'm sure you know he can get into spots that you can't suddenly get him, right?
Yeah.
What if he jumped into a gorilla thing? What would you do?
Just let.
Do you want to look at him while you're
sorry.
maybe?
I raised you well enough. You're smart enough to know better. So I just let Darwin take out the trash.
Right.
Basically, I'm hands off here.
You
we don't
okay
need
with that?
him reproducing at 10.
If he's dumb enough.
If he's dumb enough. When you're 3, okay, I'll cut you some slack. You know what I mean? Like, if that happened when you were 3, Sonny, I would have, immediately snapped into action. I would have for sure, thrown my shoe down there and went, hit him with it. You know what I mean? Obviously, I don't want to get in there myself.
Right.
But I would have certainly thrown a granola bar down there if you were going to be down there for a length of time.
Yeah.
Probably at some point alerted some officials, but obviously because of my celebrity status, I'd probably have to work through my publicist first and try to map out a strategy. You don't dive right into these things, and next thing you know, you're splashed all over the headlines, bad father, And I probably wait. I'm not a CHP patrolman, but, I did Loveline for a while. I sat next to Dr. Drew, who's addiction medicine specialist. I do know there's a part when you consume alcohol where you will actually test lower because you haven't absorbed the alcohol. And then there's another part where you're tested, breathalyzer, where you're actually lower, where it's passed through your system. So I'd probably give it a waiting period till the alcohol. Whatever alcohol, I'm assuming if I'm at the zoo, I'm bombed, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, sober, walking around
With those giraffes, it's a lot. Yeah.
LA Zoo's it.
Yeah.
That's like some sort of weird detention center from the future. It's horrible.
I haven't been there yet.
That's a disaster.
Okay.
Don't go there. They have a place that just sells churros, and it has the word hut behind the word churro.
Churro Hut.
It's a disaster.
Has nothing to do with Jabba the Hutt?
It has nothing to do, but the people that eat there are fatter than
Jabba the Hutt.
So I'd, just to quickly answer your question, wait till my alcohol level went down. I don't need, hey, drunken, C-lister, let his kid fall in the thing. Talk to my representation, and then alert officials. And then after that, I'm not a zoo person, expert person. So I'd let the zoo, whatever their title is, I'd let them handle it.
Yeah.
But I don't blame the mom.
You don't.
Well, here's why I don't blame the mom. Because those people who eat the hamburgers but don't like the hunters,
right,
who hate nuclear devices but have no solution to the hundreds of thousands of people to be slaughtered on the mainland of Japan, and who, if that kid fell into the gorilla pit and somehow was extracted and the gorilla was fine, or even got one of those airplane donut pillows out of the deal, then those people wouldn't be calling for the head of the mother. So the gorilla gets shot in the head, and now we need mama's head to roll. Way I look at it is mama's role is the same. One gorilla is not harmed. The other gorilla takes a bullet to the head. Mama's role didn't change. So my feeling is just because the gorilla got shot, it doesn't change mama's actions.
Interesting. So we're just looking for constant moral superiority to everybody, right? Is that what it is? Like every time something happens, everyone gets on.
Yeah, just crazy outrage. Like, look, what happened to Cecil the Lion? How many blowhards who took to the Tweetusville and decided to write something heroic down are now volunteering at the animal shelter or
I'm gonna guess
working with the big felines or anything, or even remember what the story was or who the dentist was. I don't get it. Like, people are like, aren't you outraged? And I'm like, no. And they're like, why? And I'm like, I figure since we've been talking about Cecil, 5 lions have been killed, and then 3 lions killed 5 human beings. That's in my cosmic math. That's what I've done.
You're ballparking
I don't
it. I get
care.
it. Yeah.
If I had to go into some sort of depression spiral every time an animal was shot, I'd be a pretty miserable dude.
Yeah, but now people are going to say, well, Adam Carolla hates animals. But that's not what you're saying.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I like people, and I don't care about animals to the extent that I turn them into human beings.
Yeah.
I care about, in order of appearance, I care about myself.
Yeah.
I think I'm top 3, actually.
Yeah.
Right, then the boy.
He's not even paying attention anymore.
Okay.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, you're ahead of your sister.
Yeah.
Then the girl. I got my wife. Nanny, wife. Did I work gardener in there? Anyway, valued employees.
Yeah.
Friends, ex-lovers, Jimmy Kimmel. You know what I mean? List goes like that. Eventually, it gets to Americans.
Wait, you put Kimmel above Dr. Drew? Just for the record.
Ooh, man. I love them both, but Kimmel throws a better party.
All right.
Star-studded Super Bowl event.
Yeah. I would imagine there's more drinking and drugs at one of his parties than Dr. Drew.
He has a full bar.
Yeah.
He has like 5 taps.
Wow.
And one of them, just cocaine comes out. It's so awesome. It's like,
yeah.
I just see like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon just, actually, Matt was like just laying under it. Ben was just, it's awesome.
He didn't have that from the Man Show money. That's the ABC money.
Yeah, no, he's got the ultimate, which I always like to say, people think F you money, fuck you money.
Yeah.
Ultimate is fuck me money. I mean, like, I can do stuff that's so stupid it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like when
you've got some of that money, right?
Oh,
you've got some of it.
Yeah, no, I do stuff all the time. Like, people, I honestly, like, when people say, what's the best part about having money, or being rich, or doing well, being well off, or whatever? And is it driving a nice car? Is it having a cool house? Is it going on a vacation or whatever? And if you really think about it, most people can afford. You can get an Audi S4 that's 3 years old and afford it, and have a cool, fast car to drive around, or an old Porsche, whatever. And anyone can hop on a Southwest flight, find a B&B in San Francisco, and eat all-you-can-eat sushi night or whatever. Most people can afford a decent time. No, the best part about having money is F me money, which I thought to all the time. I've had a couple of shithead neighbors and just people around that asswipe who lived underneath me, and he's like, there's a bunch of mud in my pool, and you caused it, and it's a irrigation line broke, and blah blah blah, and I'm an attorney, and I'm not a big celebrity like you, and I don't do a home improvement show, so this sure would look bad, and I know where you live, I moved, and blah blah blah. And I said, he literally was just like, just give me $10,000 and this will go away, or I'll see you in court. And this guy's a shyster, amoral piece of shit. And I was like, no, let the insurance guy go, let the adjuster show up at the house. By the way, it's torrential rain for the 3 nights before that. That's where the mud came from. I didn't have anything break. He just wanted me to fix his pool.
Yeah.
And he's an attorney. He should be tossed out of the bar. But anyway, the bar doesn't police anybody. But here's where the fuck you money comes in. And I did it to this horrible witch who bought another house of mine, who was trying to sue me for a cracked foundation 3 years after I sold her the house. And they're doing like hearings and stuff. And I said, their whole thing is like, give me $10,000, it'll go away. Or give me 25 grand, it'll go away. Here's where that fuck me money comes in. I'll spend 100 grand on an attorney way faster than I'll give you $10,000.
Right.
Way faster.
So you'd rather
That's F me money.
Yeah.
I'm down 90 grand and I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I like morality better than I like money. And I will definitely, by the way, neither shyster got a penny.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to sue, because they can't sue, because they don't have a fucking case. But the point is I am perfectly willing to give Mark Garrigus $100,000, not to give you $8,000.
Yeah, I don't think Garagos needs that much money. He's got a lot of deal.
That would be what he calls ashtray money.
Yeah, that's nothing for him.
Yeah, that's nothing.
All right, let's plow through some just like hot button stuff since we're all over the place here. Yeah. Election. Let's talk.
What about Cecil?
Poor Cecil.
Boy,
I know.
Who's talking about that?
I know.
People like I always tell people all the time, you don't have enough air in your lungs to get me to care. And by the way, not only do I not care, I know you don't care. And here's how I know you don't care. 7 weeks from now, I'll ask you about Cecil, and you'll go, who?
Yeah.
Chuck Cecil, the DB from Atlanta back in the 80s? No, the line. Remember you were in tears and you're writing all those tweets?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's Cecil. Yeah, what happened to him?
Well, it's like these people, look, I felt bad for the lion, but these people that are boycotting the dentist that they had never heard of the day before, and now you're outside picketing this dentist who accidentally shot the animal that didn't realize it was that animal.
You boycott a dentist, I say the joke's on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to get my teeth cleaned for 100 years.
Right.
Yeah, that's going to cause you problems.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, if you need root canal, you should not be boycotting dentists.
Don't boycott that dentist. Yeah, I don't, listen. It's a simple, I don't even know why we need to go through this retarded dance where I go, I'm not for the killing of innocent lions.
Yeah.
Okay? Good. Now, it happened. Let's move on. I'm not for the killing of gorillas. Now, it happened. Move on. I'm not for the bombing of Japanese cities. Now it happened.
Let's try to do something real.
Yes,
like that's what it comes
the thing. I love the way you have to explain yourself, as if you just like, oh, you want a lion or a gorilla burger? I'm grilling this weekend. Like,